Welcome to House of Bob presents Chariot of the Bobs, an alien RPG adventure written by Free League Press.
Hi, I'm Shubert. I'll be playing Leah Davis, the ship's thrill-seeking pilot.
I'm Cristina, and I'm playing Captain Miller.
I'm Alex, and I'll be playing Wilson, a shrewd Weyland-Yutani company agent.
I'm Shaun, and I'll be your GM, your game mother for this series. Last time on House of Bob's actual play of alien RPG Chariot of the Gods, the crew of the Montero, Davis, played by Shubert, Wilson, played by Alex, Cham, played by Cristina, Rye, and their Captain Miller, are stranded aboard the derelict ship Cronus, floating in deep space. Wilson tried to get information from what remains of the Cronus's crew, deciding to accept and then inject himself with the experimental inoculation, hoping it will help his immune system defend against whatever illness is responsible for the alien mutations on board. Davis forged off alone to the aft of the ship, looking for medicine and other drugs. What they found, however, is a series of specimen jars containing more of the strange quadrupedal alien that burst from the skull of the Cronus' science officer. These ones, thankfully, appear to be dead. And Cham, poor Cham, attempting to gain re-entry to the Cronus from outside, met a vicious and crazed mutant abomination clinging to the side of the hull. After a brief tussle, the creature grabbed onto Cham's helmet and crushed it, spraying glass and rapidly freezing white fluid into the black of space. So, Cristina.
Yeah. Poor Cham.
You get a new character this week.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell us about who you're playing.
I teleport into a new body. I'm playing, actually, Captain Miller now. Good old Cap.
All right, so Captain Miller, leader of the ship. Do you want to maybe give us a teaser of what a couple things that Captain Miller is good at?
I mean, she's good at commanding people. Planning is one of her strong suits. Apparently, I'm the pilot. I didn't realize that, but that's when you sent me the character sheet. She's got 2 piloting.
Yeah, I think she's like a backup pilot because right. Davis has like a 5, I think.
Co-pilot.
Yeah. I'm a captain. Yeah, and just basically, I got all those cool things that we picked her up on before, so she's well armed at the moment.
Excellent. So it sounds like you're basically ready to start your adventure.
Yeah, I'm ready to maybe not get my head crushed this time. We'll see.
So at this point, then, Captain Miller, Wilson, Rye, and the crew of the Cronus. To remind you again, that is Clayton, their corporate agent, Johns, their XO, Reed, their security officer, and Dr. Flynn, their medic. Those 4 people are with you on the bridge of the Cronus. Davis, your pilot, is somewhere. You just watched Wilson inject himself with a black goo from a syringe handed to him by Dr. Flynn. What are you guys doing?
Well, I think I'm going to try to get the comms working for us Monteros.
All right. So you step over to the front area of the bridge. You've got the command station and a sensor station side by side. You can see that on the command station, it is powered up. Everything seems to be at least responsive at first. You see a flip-up access panel on the side of the captain's station, this little glass panel that has been shattered. And you know that typically there would be an emergency access key here, but it is missing.
Oh. I turned to the other crew members. Cronus folk, anybody actually have the access key on you?
They all look each other in back and then look back at you and they all shrug. We haven't seen it.
Who's the highest rank here?
Johns is the XO of the ship, so he would be immediately under the captain, but the captain is dead. Mm-hmm. And you have Clayton, the corporate agent. Those are probably the 2 highest ranking Cronus members.
Clayton, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about no corpo.
Rude.
Yeah, rude and truthful. Yeah, so I guess I'll ask him about it. Like, did you guys have a plan to use that key for something else? Like, why would it be missing right now?
Somebody probably would have had to try to use that to access Mother. I'm not sure who. Maybe it was the captain himself. But we were all busy with a whole host of other things. I was trying to get everyone into cryo.
Okay. And have we actually tried accessing their mother?
You guys saw that the door was locked when you first came in.
Right.
I can't remember. I don't think you guys got in there. You know that you would need a mother access key or the key code that a captain would typically be assigned to at the time that they begin running the ship.
Okay. Then I think I will ask, and by ask I mean order, one of these two guys, particularly the Cronus Corpo, to open the door. Because they have to have overrides, at least one of them.
Clayton nods and says, yes, I do have my own key card. I can get us in there. Whatever we do, we got to make sure that these samples get back to Earth in order to, develop weapons and processes to fight back against these creatures.
Listen, we want to get this ship back to Earth ASAP, and the only way to do that is to get it up and running.
I 100% agree.
And I motion towards the door with my hand. So go.
Okay. Anything in particular that you want me to ask her?
If we could find out who took the key, that would be great. Any last recordings between when you guys were going into the cryostasis and that, anything before we got onto the ship would be great.
Okay, affirmative. And she turns to Reed and says, Reed, you come with me. And the two of them tromp off into the hallway and head towards Mother.
Reed is from their crew, right? Not one of ours?
Yeah, Reed is their former Marine head of security.
Right.
She's currently toting a shotgun, so looks to be able to confidently use it.
And among those of us who are still on the bridge, do any of us have weapons that big or that good?
I have weapons, but nothing that hefty, no.
Okay.
You guys have the incinerator with you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A handgun has gone missing.
Right.
One other thing about the command station is that, as a captain, you're quite familiar with how these things work. You know that you could access the command station, make a ComTech roll, and get information on the Cronus's past, as well as a readout on the systems of the ship.
That would be great. In fact, I wouldn't mind doing that against what they might tell me when they come back.
Okay.
I got no success. I'm just going to push it one there.
And so pushing is you take a stress in order to roll something right away.
I did get 1-6. No
There you
failure.
go. Okay. You're able to get a readout of the ship. You are able to see star charts and coordinates for where the Cronus has been on its travels. You can see that it made a short stop on a planet called 26 Draconis, or 26 Draconis, before heading back towards Earth and then stopping suddenly, or coming to a relative stop as everyone went into cryo. You're able to see that there are some systems on the ship that are not working right now. The comm array, any radio contact on the ship is currently cut off. So that means that Clayton
for them too.
Clayton and Reed are not able to communicate with you. Davis is not able to communicate with you despite having their suit on. You know that in order to fix this, it would require a spacewalk in order to repair an antenna array on the outside of the ship. You also see that the engines are not working properly. That's going to require some external repairs with a welding torch, as well as a cleanup of the reactor control room. Finally, you see that the life support systems, the air scrubbers, are not functioning properly. And currently, the concentration of CO2 in the air is higher than normal.
Right, because there's extra people.
Someone would have to go into the air scrubber containment shaft and physically clean it, which, depending on the buildup in there, could take a while.
And we are running out of air in our suits. Right. So that might be the next thing that I want to do.
That's the next thing I'm going to make you roll. Everybody roll air supply.
No ones. I'm breathing easy.
I got a 6, but no ones. Is there anything cool happened on a 6?
You get to keep breathing.
Oh, that is pretty cool. I like breathing.
In this game, that's very cool.
That's very cool.
What about you, Davis?
Oh, God. That makes sense because I'm probably panting heavily at this point, but I rolled 2 1s.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
So how many supply do you have left?
I believe I was at 3.
Okay. So you're on the orangey red line of your O2 reader.
Perfect.
Well, why don't we jump over to Davis in the med lab? You, I believe you found some syringes filled with the black fluid. You found some glass specimen jars, 2 of which have these alien creatures within them, as well as a number of strange organic glass vials that have black liquid within them as well, one of which is cracked open and empty. There's still a back room to the med lab as well. You know, the science lab is just down the hallway.
So I could be wrong, but I seem to remember that last time I was looking in this room for stuff and then like an alien burst out at the end of last session. Am I wrong?
This was actually these 2 creatures that you now see are inside glass specimen jars.
Oh, I didn't
So
realize
you had that initial like,
okay.
maybe a jump scare, you know, classic movie trope, but it appears that they are stationary, and upon looking at them for a few seconds, they are immobile. They're just floating there in formaldehyde or something similar anyways.
All right. Davis bursts out into like a nervous laughter, and she's staring at these things for a minute, but she knows she has to keep looking for what she's looking for, which is more drugs. So she didn't find them in the med lab, so she's going to head down to the science lab.
Well, there's still a second room. So there's 2 rooms to the med lab. There's the main room where you found all these specimens, and then you see there's med pods in the second room where treatment usually takes place. So that's another space that you could check too.
Okay.
Do you want to check that out then?
I mean, is there like a window I can look through?
Yeah, the doors that separate the 2 rooms have a viewing window through them. You look through and you can see 2 med pods on the right side wall. One of them is shattered. It looks like the plexi or the glass from it lying all around the floor on it. The far tube is closed and the inside is smeared with like dried blood, obscuring the inner view. And you can see that on the left side, there's a wall of cabinets and shelves.
And are there any bottles on these shelves? Like anything that looks like medicine?
I will tell you that there are jars and bottles on the shelves, but you can't read the labels from this distance.
So I feel like I need to get in there to get the drugs, but at the same time, I feel like this is looking pretty scary. There's no like perception check in this game or something, right?
Kind of not really. It's more so, that would
fine.
more so be reactive. The information I can give you, the lights are on.
Mm-hmm.
You can see what you see through the window. One of the med pods is broken. The other one is filled with, or the glass inside it is covered with blood. You see those shelves on the left side.
Okay.
The only other thing I was going to say is that the room has the same sort of ventilation and lighting that all the other rooms that you've seen so far have.
Okay. So yeah, I think Davis just looks in for, I don't know, like 20 seconds or something, just to make sure there's nothing moving around in the room. And if there isn't anything moving around, then she'll open the door and take a look around the corners.
All right.
She's definitely hesitant, given what she just saw, but
yeah. You peek through, step in, and you see nothing jumping out at you.
That's good.
Your heart maybe is taking a increase in its rate, but as you step towards the medicine cabinets on the side, you see a stack of medical kits, 4 personal med kits. You see trays of sanitized surgical instruments. You see a whole host of pills.
All right, so Davis starts rifling through the pills and is looking for a specific prescription of Weyland-Yutani drugs.
You find 3 doses of Never Sleep pills, 5 doses of hydration, used to stave off dehydration sickness, and 6 doses of Naproleve.
Oh, interesting. Do I know what Naproleve does?
Yeah.
Naproleve reduces your stress level to 0.
Whoa.
Ooh, And there's, how many of those?
6 doses.
Oh, awesome.
Never sleep will increase your stress level by 1, effectively increasing your alertness as you take these amphetamines.
And what was the other one again?
Hydration.
Right.
With an 8 instead of an A.
Nice.
Radical.
Classic.
Basically, it's used after hypersleep.
Right.
You do know, as a frequent abuser of drugs, you know that taking more than 1 dose of nap relief in a shift will have compounded and negative effects.
Right. But for me personally, not taking one will also give me bad effects.
That's true.
So I think I'm going to take some nap relief.
Okay. So you pull your helmet off, you pop back a pill, and you feel the tension begin to ease from your body. So you reduce your stress level to 0. However, do keep noted if you had a panic stage, if you were twitchy or something beyond that. We do need to keep track of that for later. You're at drop item. So yeah, just keep that on track, because if you panic again, you only go up.
Okay. I grab all those pills. I down the nap relief. I immediately feel a massive weight off my shoulder as all this stress leaves my body. It's like I just went on a 3-month yoga retreat. I'm so de-stressed. And
you see one other thing.
Yeah.
As you're standing here in front of this cabinet, you see another glass jar. This one filled with grayish black mushrooms. These spherical nodes on the end of these little tiny stalks.
All right. Interesting. I make a mental note, but my job here is done. I got what I needed.
All right. So where are you heading?
I was going to ask, there's no escape boat kind of on this ship, is there?
You know from your schematics that there's supposed to be escape pods towards the front of the ship, near the bridge, actually. There's 2 vestibules on either side of the bridge that should have escape pods.
What is the range on these escape pods? Can I get back to a habitable place?
It's a situation where you jump in it, you put yourself in cryosleep, and you transmit a beacon, hoping you get picked up.
That seems risky.
That does seem risky. It's not something that actually has a big rocket and a bunch of fuel that can actually get me somewhere.
Right.
Okay. Given that is the situation, I think Davis now is much more calm and much more cool and collected. And she's like, it was probably a dumb thing to leave the safety of numbers of people when there's aliens around. So I should return to the group.
All right.
So she's going to head back through the ship towards the group.
Okay. As you are getting back to the front of the bridge, I'm going to get you to roll another air supply.
Oh, no. I rolled a 3.
Okay. Captain Miller is just finishing her debrief with the rest of the crew about what exactly is busted on this ship when Davis returns. Wilson, Miller, Davis reunited on the deck with Johns and Flynn and Rye. What are you guys talking about? What are you thinking? What's your order of operations here? You know the ship is not in good condition. You know that there's something on the ship with you. What do you do?
Did we know where Davis went, or she just took off, right?
Yeah, I basically just took off. I think the first thing I would do is, explain where I've been. When I come back.
Wilson asks, how Davis is doing. Is she doing okay, and where'd she go?
Yeah, I'm doing a little better. I'm feeling a little more calm. Sorry about freaking out there a bit. I did find some medical supplies. So I don't know if we decided that those syringes full of the alien virus vaccine or whatever, I don't know if we decided those are worth taking, but I did find more of those.
I mean, Wilson took some.
Yeah, I took it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah, how is he feeling?
Fine.
Feel fine. Your arm's a little sore where you made the injection.
Okay.
Don't lift with that arm. Okay, well, I do think getting the air supply on the ship cleaned out is probably a good way to go. And I imagine there's a giant fan involved, which is classic alien.
Yeah, I also found some weird, looks like they've been experimenting on some weird stuff in here.
What kind of weird stuff?
Like mushrooms. And I don't really know what it was. There was some weird goo. I don't know, guys. I'm not a scientist. I'm a pilot.
Where was that?
Why do you want to know, Wilson?
Because it's my responsibility as the corporate officer to report back about what's happening on corporate property.
Well, I'll let them know when we get back. I think our main mission should just be getting us all safely out of here.
Absolutely.
Right, Captain?
Yeah, but I think the only way at this point to do that is get the ship running.
I'm with you.
At that, John steps up and says, I'll volunteer to help out wherever you need. I'm just glad someone's willing to take charge. Tell me what you need me to do, Captain.
Yes, I'm the captain now, you guys. I was before, but I am also now. Sorry.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just reaffirming that to myself out loud. Okay, great. Who here has any mechanical knowledge other than the guy who just volunteered?
Other than Rye?
Yeah, Rye on our team, yeah.
What is going on with Cham right now?
Cham ran to the other ship and he decoupled it. That's all we know. And I guess we also know the ship blew up.
Oh God, is he okay?
Well, he hasn't come back yet.
So
And we haven't heard from him, but our comms are down. So he could be out there.
So if we can get comms back up,
Mm-hmm, exactly.
maybe we can get Cham.
Or he blew up with a ship. One of those two are the most likely outcomes.
But if we have comms up, at least we'll
know for sure
if he's okay.
Oh yeah, then yeah, that should be our first job. I mean, I couldn't even talk to you guys a few seconds ago, so let's get the comms back up.
Well, I agree with you. So I think we need to split up in two teams. One is going to be on air duty, air cleaning duty, so we can get these helmets off. And then I'll send you guys, since you seem so keen on it, Wilson and Davis and Rye, you are my go-tos. You will get the comms up and running.
We got it, Captain.
All right, so who's going where? We got some people that are going to do the comm array, which is a spacewalk out to it. And we got some people that want to help with the air recycling.
Yes. So I think the
Wilson raises his hand for
air.
air recycling.
Yeah. So I think the general plan is going to be Davis and Rye and maybe one other, because I think there's still more of them, right, than there are of us.
Well, Johns and Flynn are still standing with you. Johns is XO. He's got one heavy machinery. And he's got no Comtech. Flynn has 2 Comtech and no heavy machinery.
Okay. So he will go with the other two, with Davis and Rye, I think. And then I guess we'll send, Wilson. You can go clean up some gunk, right? You're good at that.
Yeah, I can clean up gunk.
And then we'll have him go with Johns.
All right. So
with me, with Wilson.
With you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're going with another guy.
Okay, that's good for safety.
Just one problem with this plan, Captain. I don't have barely any air left in my tanks, so I don't know if I can go on a spacewalk. Maybe I could borrow somebody else's air supply.
Is that possible?
Yeah, is that possible?
switching suits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
If you're doing that.
We would have to take our suits off. Yeah, that's fine. I will be here on the bridge doing some more figuring out calibrations and keeping everybody, because you guys can keep in contact through me on the station, through the bridge. So yeah, Davis, you can take mine. I got 4 air left.
Oh, all right. Sweet. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 1 left, so just try not to breathe a lot.
I will switch into the outfit, but I think I won't actually, turn it on or put it on. I'm just going to stay out of it and breathe this crap air.
Use it for emergencies.
Okay. And what's Miller going to do while everybody is off doing their jobs?
I don't know. What can they do?
Well, why don't I give you more information about the bridge?
Yeah, great.
Because there's more problems here. Let me tell you. The big thing is that the piloting stations are in bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that pilot station number 1 has an axe embedded in the console.
Oh my God.
Station number 2 has some whirring lights on the computer elements of it, but the screens are dead.
Okay.
It looks like it would take some time, but you could fix one or the other by harvesting parts from
That's kind of what
other.
I was thinking. Yeah. So it sounds like changing the screens would be the easiest, I guess, of the two things. I mean, I'll take that axe out anyway. So I have a sweet axe that I put on my belt.
All right.
And yeah, I'll get to work on that. And like I said, I'm also acting as like kind of basically communications officer.
Once you have communications.
Also, because they can use the comms on the actual part of the ship to the bridge, I assume, and then I can go back and forth.
Intercoms, yes. If you're in a room that has
yes.
intercoms.
Oh, yes, the intercoms. That's what I meant to say, yeah.
Okay.
So I will help relay in that way.
All right, so this is going to start the beginning of a shift. This is going to be a decent amount of work for each team in order to achieve. The spacewalk for the comm array will be a little bit quicker, but I'm going to assume that, getting your suits on and getting the tools that you need and getting out there is going to take you a little bit of time as well. Air scrubbers will take some time, as well as repairing this computer station will take some time. Who would like to go first?
I would love to see Wilson go first.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You're talking to Johns on the way. So Johns, the second officer of the ship, he's pretty rattled. And as you're walking through the hallways, in some of these hallways, the lights are clink, 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 flinking on and off. You can hear the air scrubbers through the ventilation wheezing as they pump whatever CO2 tainted air is available into the halls. He explains to you that the air scrubbers work via electrolysis. We've got a supply of water on board, and electrical current is channeled through these submerged rods, and it separates the water into hydrogen and oxygen, and we can use the hydrogen for fuel, and the oxygen, of course, we use to breathe. But since the power's back on, there's a chance of electrocution in here. You want to be really careful not to, touch the wrong things or fall in the water, or just watch what you're doing.
Understood.
The icing on the cake is that you'll have to climb through ventilation shafts to get in there.
Okay. Great.
All right, so he takes you to the closest ventilation shaft, cracks it open. It's nice and big, easy enough for a human to crawl through. And you guys begin to head in. The dark ahead of you, you flick on your headset lamp in order to light the way ahead of you. And you hear him coughing and wheezing in the tainted air behind you. And you come out into a large shaft that goes from the base of the ship up to the dorsal side. It's filled with ventilation and maintenance shafts. You see these huge carbon filters shifting on the left and right sides of this big circular shaft. There's these churning machines below that are running the electricity through water, and the last little bits of ice are melting into this pool. Probably they were frozen as the ship sat in dormancy for so long. Some condensation raining down from above you as the water cycles. It's very loud here. Difficult to hear anything. You see that there are decades of grime and mold caking the air scrubbers. So even though the power is up, it will take some work to replace or clean pieces as you work through it. What do you do?
I mean, I'm not sure there's much for me to do other than to look around for some cleaning supplies and see if we can get this over with.
Basically, you've got some scrubbers that Johns passes into you. And it's just going to be a heavy machinery roll, basically, if you just want to go for it.
All right. Oh. Well, I got one success and one panic.
Okay. You are scrubbing away at one of these air scrubbers, the decades of grime beginning to chip away and slough off into the water below. When you hit this weird patch of mold, it's kind of these spindly little stalks with these gray black nodes at the end of them, almost like a mushroom growing off.
My God.
And as you knock it, it bursts and these spores fly at your mask.
Oh my God.
So you are going to roll me a panic.
Okay. I have 3 stress. I've rolled a 3.
Okay, so you're keeping it together so far.
Okay.
It rattles you at first, but you're like, okay, it's all right. I'm still in my suit.
Yeah.
I've got air. Roll an air check.
Air check. I got a 6. No ones, though.
Okay. We are going to move over to Davis, Bry, and Flynn.
Oh, before we do that, this mushroom, these spores, whatever, is there still more of it around? Like, or did I destroy all of it by brushing it about?
You're looking around the shaft now, and you're starting to pick out, amongst the mold, there are clusters of these spores around the air shaft.
Can I reach more of it easily?
You could reach more of it, yeah.
Okay. And I still have that syringe from when I took half of that vaccine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you only took half.
Well, I don't know. Just, I initially I was like, maybe I have to save some for somebody else, but I'm not worried about that anymore. What I'd like to do is squirt out the rest of the vaccine that's in here and then slurp up a little sample of this weird mushroom or whatever. Just figure someone might want to know what it's all about.
All right, so you squirt out the medicine that remains in your syringe and you stab it into this mushroom, essentially, this fungus.
Yeah.
And you attempt to pull a sample, but I mean, you're stabbing something that's like a solid, basically, with this like little microscopic needle head, and it doesn't seem to, you don't seem to be able to get much, honestly.
Do I have pockets? Can I?
You want to pocket some?
Yeah.
You could do that.
Oh, God. They're on the suit.
Can't
I mean,
trust
I'm
Corporal.
fine, clearly, so. You know?
Who is with Wilson again?
John's.
John's.
Currently passing tools in and out, keeping watch from the ventilation shaft and cleaning some of the other areas.
I know, I feel bad for him.
So we're going to jump over to Davis, Rye, and Flynn as you're beginning your spacewalk. You know that the comm array is on the dorsal side of the ship, so let's start by picking an exit. You could go down to the cargo bay. You could go to the ventral airlock down that way. You could pry your way into the airlock that you guys shut earlier, but it would cause some more decompression. What do you think?
We're trying to get to the comms array, which is on the outside of the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we would not want to cause any more damage to the ship. We would want to use one of the proper airlocks.
Mm-hmm.
There's just 2 of them, right?
Yeah, you could open the big cargo bay doors, or you could go through the ventral airlock.
The ventral airlock, I think, makes the most sense.
I think that makes sense too. So the 3 of you pick up your gear and you start to head down. Rye already has a suit on, but Flynn doesn't. So he takes a left right after you guys leave the bridge and picks up an EVA suit from one of their storage containers just beside Junction B1 and suits up. And it's older tech. You guys probably have 50 years worth of technology on what was on Cronus, but looks like it'll get the job done. It's a little bit clunkier, but you guys head down to Deck D in order to take the ventral airlock. An external elevator is attached to this airlock, similar to the one on Nostromo if you've seen Alien 1. It will lower crew to the surface of a planet if they choose not to use the vehicle bay. You can see that the elevator is not in order, but you could still manually engage the airlock door in order to leave.
Okay. Yeah. What's wrong with the elevator? Why isn't that working? Do we know?
You can make a roll.
I don't know if Davis cares that much. She's just more like wondering aloud, like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, Flynn says, I'm not really sure. It's not really my area. If we were in the med lab, I could help you over there, the science lab, but I have no idea about elevators.
So are you the scientist who...
No, I'm the medic. I'm the ship's doctor.
But you said you know all about the science lab.
Well, I mean, we're neighbors, basically. I help do some of the work.
And like the med lab has some pretty weird stuff in there. Do you know about all that, I assume?
Yeah. Some of our crew, after they became infected, started to transform as the mutations began, and you can see him go pale, and he looks like he's about to puke. We tried to treat some of them, and I was able to extract a couple of those creatures. They died after extraction because I don't know, maybe they weren't fully formed enough. We kept them as samples. Clayton said she needed them, so we kept them.
Clayton said you needed them?
Clayton's the corporate agent. She said she was gonna,
of course,
that the company was gonna want to see this stuff. If these creatures are so dangerous, we're going to need weapons to fight them, she said.
Yeah, at the risk of infecting everybody, I guess. All right, let's get out this airlock and fix this antenna. I want to speak to my buddy Cham. Hoping he's okay.
All right, let's do it. So you guys open up the airlock, vent the air, and you open the external doors. You attach yourselves to each other, and you have a safety grapple that you attach to different points in the ship. You begin your spacewalk. Get you to roll a mobility and an air supply.
Just one success.
Okay. And how about that air?
I did get a 1, so I'm down to 3 now.
All right. You begin to ascend around the circumference of the Cronus. You make it about halfway, and you see a creature floating about 10 feet from the surface of the ship, spasming and waving its arms back and forth. And as it kind of rotates, you can see that its helmet is shattered and it has this elongated, frozen in like a grimace, elongated bulbous head, its eyes bulging, and even in the darkness of space, it's like attempting to flinch or reach out to you, but it's just trapped far away from the ship. Take a stress.
All right.
You take a look back, and you can see both Flynn and Rye they've seen this thing too, and their eyes are gaping in fear, surprised to see this thing out here still just floating just off of the ship. Whatever it is, somehow it's still survived out here for decades.
Whoa.
That seems bad.
That's pretty freaky. How far away is it from the ship
It's
again?
10 feet away from the ship,
God.
but it's almost like in an orbital lock around the ship, and it doesn't have any way to propel itself through the vacuum.
Wow. Yeah, that's like a Greek tragedy right there. This guy's just trapped in a terrible situation. That really threw me off. I have no idea what to do. I think Davis is just standing there stunned. I guess it can't get any closer? Should we just keep heading towards the comms array?
You look back, and Ryan Flynn knocked the side of their helmets.
They what?
He's freaking out.
They can't hear you.
Right.
Oh my God. How did we not think about this before we went out here?
I didn't even think about it either.
Wow. But they both point up towards the dorsal side of the ship.
All right. Davis starts heading towards it. She's trying not to look at the creature.
Okay.
I don't need this stress in my life right now. I just shut it out.
All right. You continue to clamber along the side of the ship. Make a second mobility roll.
I got 0 successes.
Okay. Roll me a d4.
Got a 3.
Okay, so you are getting up to the dorsal side of the ship, and you have to like unhook yourself from one part of the gantry onto another supporting arm. And you unclip, and as you're clipping it back on, you get bumped from behind by Rye, who doesn't seem to notice what's going on, and it causes you to start to drift. You have one arm hanging onto the side of the ship, one arm hanging onto this grapple. I'd like you to make me a strength roll, as the inertia or the reaction of these forces causes Rye and Flynn to bounce backwards off of you.
Oh boy. And I'm just holding on by like one strap.
Yeah.
All right. No successes.
Are you pushing it?
You can push it.
That just gives me one more stress, correct?
Yeah, you get to re-roll.
And then I re-roll with the additional stress.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Otherwise, I just fly off into space, I'm pretty sure. Oh, man. That could not have gone worse. So I didn't get any successes, and I got 2 1s on both of my stress dice.
Oh, no.
Ooh, I'd love to see it.
Double panic.
Roll a d6 and add your stress level.
5?
5. Okay. You're keeping it together.
All right.
But you do fail.
But I drift off into space, so...
Oh, hold on. I don't want to punish
No?
you for this failure.
Oh no.
you're grabbing onto this the side of the ship. You're grabbing onto this cord, and as it rips away from you, Ryan Flynn both bouncing back off of the hull of the ship, and as it reaches this point of tension where your arms are fully extended and the cord attached to both of them reaches the maximum of its reach, you see the cord suddenly snap back at you, and Flynn's older suit that had been sitting in storage for the past 75 years rips at the connection point, and you see him float off with nothing to save him. Take a stress as you watch somebody disappear into the vacuum. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to Chariot of the Bobs. If you'd like to support the show, there are a few key ways to do that. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast app of choice. Find and follow us on social media at The House of Bob. Join our Discord and say hi. And you can also support us on Patreon. Supporters at the $5 tier get access to behind-the-scenes discussions and special one-shots. Supporters at $10 per month get our monthly RPG design blog. This year, 2023, we're writing a full mega dungeon themed around the tarot, a whole new, specially themed level every month that you can use for your home games. Artwork for this series is by Shaun Makes. Audio production and sound design is by Astronomic Audio. Music for this series is by Duke Albert. Roll on.
Oh man, if I was him, I'd just open my suit.
Wow.
Hoping it will help his immune system defend against whatever illness is responsible for the alien mutants responsible. That's a lot of responsibles.
And look at me, guys. I'm such a cool cucumber. I have no stress. Even though I saw a man have an alien jump off of his body.
Yeah, I feel like the captain should have a little stress.
These are the kind of things you see every day as a captain, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Classic captaining problems.
They cover this in training.
Does look like there might be something there.
Are you just saying that, Shaun, so I'll go in this room and die?
No.
Sorry.
You can't tell from far away. As a pilot, you naturally have bad eyes.
There's like some...
Do we know what happened to Rye?
No. Oh,
Rye's
no.
standing right beside you.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to Cam.
Hi, guys. I'm right here.
Oh, hey, Rye. Sorry.
Hey, Rye.
Yeah.
I was kind of mixing
I'm really
up.
worried about Cham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cham.
He was my best friend.
Cam or Cham?
Jam.
Jam.
CHAM.
No, like Cham, like champion.
You never learned the people's names on the ship. This is why I don't like corpos.